now you talk about your masters, and that's where things get a lot more targeted and a lot more focused on what you're doing now. And you went to study at where did you go and study eventually after you decided where to go?
I finally ended up going and doing my master's in type design at the University of Reading. It's a university in the United Kingdom. It's slightly out of London. And I decided on this in that year itself. Like I quit my job, I was freelancing, and I was like, okay, I really like this type stuff. How do I know more? And I essentially Googled, I think masters in type or something like that, and this Wikipedia list came up, which showed a whole bunch of masters options across the world. But at that point in time, only two offered a master's in type design in English, and University of Reading was one of them. I applied. I didn't even apply. I wrote to the professor asking that I'm interested. Could you tell me more about the course? And after a couple of email back and forths, he was like, "Okay, great. This sounds good. I'm expecting your application through the formal process." And I was like, "Wait, does that mean I got it?" So that was kind of cool. Like I didn't realize it was happening, but it kind of also happened, and then things snowballed really fast from there.
Okay, so that so you got in that as a bit of a surprise almost to yourself in the manner in which you got in.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Again, no one in my family had gone abroad for a master's at that point in time.
Okay.
People, they whoever done their MA had done it within the country, so no one was really familiar with what the process was. And
Yeah.
I was literally using Google for everything. Even when I wrote to this professor whose name showed up on the website, I was just like, can I know more before I start this whole process? Will it even be worth it? And it was a back and forth. I sent him my because he asked for my portfolio. I sent him my portfolio. Then he asked for a write-up on one of the projects, which was the type design project.
Yeah.
And I sent that to him, and he was like, and then the next response is, okay, this looks good. And I was like, oh. But after that, the formal process requires you to submit your mark sheets, and that has to have some sort of grading. Like there's a lot of bureaucracy followed after that, so lots of things could go wrong. But I remember receiving that email from him saying that, oh, this looks good, I'm expecting your application process, and that was pretty special for me.
Yeah. So once you went there, how different did you feel the experience was of studying at Reading versus studying here?
Oh my God, it was completely different. Like, I don't think I was prepared. I think I would have been far more scared if I knew what was in store, but I had no clue whatsoever. The style of teaching over there is very different altogether. It's more of it's not as spoon-fed as we are in the Indian system. And I'm not talking just about the undergraduate level, but also like schooling in general over here is a lot more rote-based. But also the undergraduate program was just, you do this and finish it really well. But we never really understood the process of why we were doing a lot of things. A lot of the technical aspects of it were not really explained. So the Masters in Type Design was an incredible course in the way that it expected you to design a typeface at the end of this course, but it also expected a dissertation from you. So you had to write academically about a topic that you have chosen. And both of these things I had never done before in my life. I had never designed a typeface, nor had I done any academic writing of any significance. And those were like very steep learning curves for me in terms of the writing as well. I remember having to learn to research in a very structured manner, then write an academic paper where I was introduced to this idea of citing your sources, which, I mean, you need to learn these things, and no one, if you're not taught the process to do it, it takes a while to get comfortable with it. So all of this was very new to me, but it was something I enjoyed immensely, which sort of helped it go a bit smoother. I loved reading and I loved learning about all this history, about like how type was made, um, and not just like the English type, but also Indian typeface design and how it progressed from a physical object to what we have as a file today, as a software file today. So all of these histories were extremely fascinating to me, and I got to sort of do a deeper dive into this handwriting, and it was amazing. And also I had the best peer group. I lucked out majorly everywhere with the friends I've had on courses I've done. Our course at Reading was incredibly diverse, but also just really nice people. Again, people who wanted to help you out and give you feedback on your work, and basically have no ego in doing so. And that's kind of a really special experience for me.